Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here today because I'm talking about something that is very near and dear to my heart because it has been something I've been living with for several years now, and I wanted to do a video that kind of reached out to people who have the same condition as me, and hopefully some of these little tips and tricks will help them, and it creates a little bit more awareness. So without further ado, I would like to do a video about eczema. I have been living with eczema since about 2007 or 2008. I can't really remember when it all started, but it's just been something I've been battling with for several years now. And I have collected all my information together, and I decided to put this in a video so that if there's anybody else out there that has eczema, or your child has eczema, or you know somebody that has eczema, you can share this with them and maybe something will help them. I wanted to start out with sharing my eczema story with you today. Back in 2008, I started to develop eczema on my legs, everywhere from the knee down to the ankle. I was in my late teens, early 20s, and we lived out here in the South, so we had to wear shorts most of the time, and I was so embarrassed by it that I would wear pants when it was hot outside, and it was just really hard to deal with. It was what I would consider atopic dermatitis. There are several different types of eczema, but the most common I would say is atopic dermatitis, and I had it on my legs, and it was like little bumps, and they would itch, and then if you'd scratch them, then they would start like weeping. It's called weeping. It's actually like where the little bubbles underneath your skin kind of start running with this clear liquid, and it's kind of gross, but it was something I was dealing with, and I was very ashamed of it. I could not shave my legs because of it, because if I shaved my legs, then that would open the sores, and then that allows for infection, and it was not good. So I went to the doctor, and that's where I got my first steroid cream. And I applied the steroid cream religiously twice a day after I bathed or cleaned my legs off or whatever, and eventually it went away. So I was like, thank God I can wear shorts again. So then it was like the next year or a little bit later, I developed a little tiny patch of eczema on my eye, and it was like this little scaly, really itchy place on my eye. And I remember, I couldn't put on eyeshadow or anything because it would, like, when you put eyeshadow over it, it was like it was going over like a wet spot, and so it would be like super pigmented in one area, and then the rest of it was just a big patchy mess. So I went back to the doctor, and he prescribed me the only eczema cream, name brand cream, I think, that was on the market at the time. That was in the really early stages of people putting out prescription drugs for eczema, and that was Elidel. And so he prescribed a big old tube to me, and I don't even think I used a third of the tube because it was such a small little area on my eye. It really wasn't anything, it was just annoying. So once again, I applied, my medicine, and eventually, after several months of religiously applying medicine, it went away. Fast forward several years to 2011. I got pregnant with my first child, and he was born August of 2011. And, we came home from the hospital with him, and everything was fine. Being a new mother was stressful, and after a couple of months, I noticed my hands were starting to break out with these little bumps, and I was like, oh no, not again. And they would itch all the time, and then it spread to my feet, and I was just like, oh my gosh, not this again, this is horrible. And the worst part about it was that my hands were hurting and itching and so swollen that I couldn't really properly take care of my baby. It was a horrible experience. And I went to the dermatologist, and she prescribed me another steroid cream, and I kept going back to her several different times, and she kept prescribing me a different steroid cream, and nothing was working. I wasn't getting better. I was stressed out because I was in a really crummy relationship at the time. I had a new baby, and it was just like the world was coming down on me, and it was awful. So I finally broke free, and me and my son moved in with my parents, and I got out of that crummy relationship. That's a whole nother story. And I went back to the dermatologist, and I said, look, whatever we're doing is not working. I cannot use my hands. It hurts me to use my hands. I can't, it's affecting the way I take care of my baby, and I just can't have this anymore. So we've got to do something. So she finally says, okay, well, we're going to try this. She put me on not only a steroid cream, a new one, but she also put me on immunosuppressants, which is a drug that suppresses your immune system in order to allow my hands to heal. And I had to go, I don't think it was once a week, I think it was monthly. I had to go to a lab and have my blood taken. If you know me, I don't do giving blood, okay? Like, if it comes to my kids, yeah, or my husband or my parents, I'll give blood. But every time I give blood, I pass out. I mean, cold. Apparently it's genetic, because it's from my mom, but every time I give blood or I see blood come out of my arm, I pass out. And so every time I went to go get my blood tested, I would pass out. And after doing the immunosuppressants and sticking with my steroid cream and doing my little regimen that I did every day, I finally got it to a manageable level. And what I mean by manageable is this didn't happen overnight, people. This took months, maybe even a year of just doing the same regimen over and over again, trying to get back to where I could use my hands without feeling pain or itching or, weeping or even bleeding at times, because you're not supposed to scratch it, obviously, but you do, and you will find any way possible to scratch it. I mean, combs, hairbrushes, fingernails, even rub it on the carpet, which, if you have eczema, try your best not to scratch it because it will make it so much worse. Today, I manage it, and I stay vigilant to my little regimen that I've done throughout the years, and occasionally I'll get a flare-up, but I stick to my guns and I do my regimen. Today, let's go over a couple of things that might help you out. There's just a bunch of factors that contribute to eczema flare-ups, so I'm going to go over a few of them here. Metals, particularly nickel, cigarette smoke, definitely, certain soaps, household cleaners like Windex or Comet or anything with ammonia, really. Bleach isn't so bad, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Anything with fragrance, soaps, shampoos, deodorants, anything like that. Even perfumes, because they are mostly made up of alcohol. Wool and polyester fabrics. Try to use cotton when you can because it's soft and it's breathable. Ugh, the worst one on the planet, the worst thing ever, is antibacterial hand sanitizer. It's horrible. If you have flare-ups on your hands like I do, and you go to get some hand sanitizer to think that you're going to kill some germs, it's like setting your palms on fire. It's horrible. It's awful. Try to avoid it. Just, ugh. Let's talk about baby wipes. Okay? Here I am having eczema flare-ups on my hands, and I'm having to change dirty diapers on a brand new baby, okay? These things are the devil. Baby wipes, and really any other like hand wipes or anything like that in general, they have an agent in them. It's an agent that keeps the wipe wet so it doesn't dry out. Any shampoo or lotion containing, bear with me, coca metapropyl. This is a thickener, something that helps your shampoo, conditioner, or lotion stay thick. But leather dyes and temporary tattoos containing, here we go again, paraphenylene diamine Another trigger of eczema flare-ups can be stress. It may not directly cause a flare-up, but in my case, if I have an eczema flare-up and I'm under a lot of stress, it makes it worse. Sweating. Sweating underneath your arms, on the backs of your knees, which anybody knows if you have sweat on your skin, it's going to make you itch, like go on your back or whatever. So living in a humid climate, which I live in South Alabama, so yeah, I'm in a humid climate. And one of the biggest things that I've found that I didn't come across like right off the bat was allergens. And this contains pollen, dust mites, pet dander, mold, dandruff. So people that live in a humid climate like I do, and spring comes and brings all that lovely yellow dust all over your car, that stuff is evil. And lastly, the last trigger that they had listed on the website was hormones, especially in women. Now that we have gone through all the things that can trigger it, I would like to go through what I do personally as my treatment plan for eczema. Some of this stuff is stuff that I do every day. Some of this is stuff that I only do when I have a really bad flare-up. We already talked about the baby wipes, okay? You can either use these and wash your hands afterwards to get the stuff off of your hands. Even on the baby, you know, that's when it becomes a real problem. When it's on your child, that's a whole nother story. So if you don't want to use these because either A, you don't want to have to wash your hands off every time that you touch baby wipe, or B, you know, it's causing eczema on your child and their, you know, nether regions. The one thing that I have come across, and they do this in the hospital when you come home with your baby, all you have to do is go into Amazon and you just buy these little cloth wipes. They're not wet. They don't have any kind of chemical on them. They're just a cloth wipe. And I think this one is actually cotton fiber or something like that. I don't know. But it's just a really soft wipe. And all you need to do is get a couple of these, run under some water, squeeze out the excess, and guess what? You have your very own homemade baby wipe, okay? Let's get yourself a moisturizer, but be careful. This is Cetaphil Baby, okay? Cetaphil is a great brand. They put out a ton of good products for people with sensitive skin like myself. This is Cetaphil's Ultra Soothing Baby Lotion, okay? With shea butter. It's fragrance-free, paraben-free, colorant-free, and hypoallergenic. It says it right here on the label. But what they don't tell you on the back, on the ingredients list, if you come across a lotion or a cream or anything, ointment that you want to try, look on the ingredients list if there's any type of alcohol on the back of your lotion or your baby's lotion. Don't use it. Just don't. Okay? Not good. The first thing that I did when I started with my eczema flare-ups after I had my son was I took the Dreft laundry detergent, which is, you know, is a children's laundry detergent, and I took the Tide laundry detergent and I threw them in the garbage. And I went to all free and clear. That detergent is amazing. It doesn't have any dyes or fragrances or anything like that. It's just laundry detergent. And that's all that I need. I just need something that's going to clean my clothes. I don't need something that's going to make my clothes smell like spring fresh or Irish spring or cool summer breeze. I just need a detergent that's going to clean my clothes. If you have a problem with your body stinking and you need your clothes to cover that up, what are you doing? The next thing that I do is I take a shower every day, or at least I try to shower every day, okay? Sometimes when I get up late in the mornings, I just throw some, you know, dry shampoo in my hair and go on about my business. But usually later that day, I'll try to take a shower before I go to bed or something like that, just to get the sweat and, you know, any perfumey stuff that you have on your body off. Another trick to do is don't use hot water. Use like lukewarm water. I know that it's not ideal and it's not as comfortable as using a warm shower, but if you don't turn it on full blast hot, your skin will thank you, trust me. When you are cleaning, whether it be the toilet or mirrors or really anything, always wear gloves, latex gloves or anything like that. It'll help keep your skin from coming in contact with any of the cleaners that you are using. And when you do get out of the shower or after you wash your hands, make sure that when you take your towel and you're drying off, you're patting. Pat your skin. Rubbing will irritate your skin quicker than anything. One thing that did help me a lot that you really wouldn't think of is if allergens are one of the reasons that you're having so many flare-ups, what I did is I took a Benadryl before I went to bed. You can also use Zyrtec or Claritin or any over-the-counter antihistamine. It's really going to help, not only if you have allergies, going on, but also with your eczema. And I take it before bed, that way it's in my system when I get up and I can go throughout my day. If you have eczema, you probably already know this, but whenever the doctor prescribes you a steroid cream, use it. I happen to use clobetasol cream, and mine comes in a little tube like this. And when you're using your steroid cream and you have eczema flare-ups on your hands like I do, at nighttime, first of all, you put it on once during the day and then once at night. That's the way I've been doing it. And you coat your hand in the cream or the ointment, whichever one you have. And then I take these nitrile gloves. These are just nitrile exam gloves, and you can pick them up at any drugstore, or even you can get a big old thing of them from Sam's. And I would coat my hand with the cream and then put on the nitrile glove, like so. And then I have these cotton gloves that you can get. Usually they're in like the spa section. I know at Publix they're in the spa section. You can get them from Walmart. I think they carry them at other drugstores and stuff. They're really for keeping your hands moisturized, so why not? And then I would put that over the top of it. The next thing I have is what I call the bleach treatment. It sounds like it would really be awful, but it's really not. I take a little tub, like one of those little tubs that your mom has for you to throw up in when you're a kid, and I fill it up with water, and I take, I think it's like, I want to say it's like a quarter of a cup, or maybe even like a teaspoon, or 2 teaspoons, or a tablespoon, something like that. I'll have to look up the exact specifications. And you put it in there, and you swirl it around, mix it up, and then you just put your hands in it, and you let your hands soak, or your feet, or whatever else. And I've even seen where people fill up their bathtub. I mean, obviously you have to have the correct proportions of bleach to water, because you don't want it to actually hurt your body parts instead of helping them. And you just soak it for 15-20 minutes, and then you get out and you dry off, and you apply your cream and then your gloves, or however else you're doing it. But the bleach actually really helps a lot. If there's one word that you need in your life if you have eczema, that word is Cetaphil. Okay? Cetaphil has been around for a really, really long time. And they put out so many good products for people with eczema or sensitive skin and babies. It's not even funny. But this is the Gentle Skin Cleanser. It does not foam. It does not do anything. You can actually just, you don't even have to have water to use this. You can just take it, a little bit of it. It's kind of like a really watery gel, and you can just rub it into your skin, and it's a cleanser. I mean, this stuff is amazing. The next Cetaphil product that I use is their Daily Facial Cleanser. I religiously use this every day. Now this you do have to rinse off with water, but I use this every day, and I don't see myself using any other cleanser, because I have used other cleansers and they make my skin tight and it makes me like break out and stuff. This is really good stuff too. I did have eczema on my scalp at one point. I forgot to mention that, but I had some little patches on my scalp and they would like flake and stuff, and it was just not good. But the only thing that I found, other than a prescription of clobetasol, the liquid form, is to use this tea gel by Neutrogena. It's kind of hard to see because the bottle's clear, but it's like this really thick brown goo, and it smells like tar, but I promise it works. And I asked my husband after I used it one day, and like I dried my hair and stuff, I was like, can you still smell it? And he said no. So the smell doesn't stay with you all day. It's just while you're in the shower you can smell it. And the last product that I have that I've been using for a while now is this Tom's Long Lasting Deodorant. And this is actually in the scent Wild Lavender. I'm a big fan of lavender, but this stuff actually is really, I know this is kind of weird because I put this on my underarms, but it feels really good. You can't even really feel, it's really lightweight feeling, but it's like a gel, and it says on the cap here, no aluminum. It has no artificial fragrances or preservatives, so it's basically like an all-natural deodorant, and it does work. And if you would like to, you can go to nationaleczema.com and look at a list of products that have received the National Eczema Association's seal of approval. And so yeah, that's our video today. I hope that it has helped somebody somewhere along the way. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me a comment down below, or you can reach me on any of my social media. Anyway, I hope that this video has helped out some of you out there. I know that it's helped me to put my story out there. And if you don't mind, please subscribe before you leave. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that you can find out when I post new videos. I will leave a list of all of the products that I've shown here today that I recommend. That way you can go out and find some for yourself. Until next time, I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!